I already said it.
Say it.
I've already said it.
Say it. I'm not saying that literally I'm against the existence of nuclear submarines.
So you're getting it.
What can we do as individuals to fight back against this fascist Donald Trump so that low intelligence people like you can come on streams like this?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Calvin.
Oh, you're Calvin.
Oh, my name is not showing?
No, it just says I am human first.
Okay. Sorry.
So, all right. So I lied. I never said Russia would interfere. That's your claim?
Well, that's one of my claims.
Okay. Do you acknowledge that you lied when you said I lied about that?
No.
Okay. So you're saying that I've never said that Russia interfered?
I'm saying when you were on Raging Tomato and you were posed a question, was Russia the culprit behind the investigation that the FBI conducted? You denied it was Russia. You said you had belief there was someone else. You don't believe it was Russia. You disagreed with the report.
I don't believe that's what I said at all. Can I try to articulate what a moron like you's trying to say?
Go ahead.
You're talking about the hacking of the DNC server.
Nope.
Okay, so your claim is that I said at some point that Russia never interfered. It was someone else. And that was the FBI investigating.
I was saying that we concluded that Russia was the culprit behind the election interference for 2016. And you disagreed with that assertion that was found by the FBI. That's what I'm saying.
I think that you're mistaken. Maybe okay. I said that. If so, that's blatantly untrue.
It's
absolutely. It is absolutely. Let me be clear. It is absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt that Russia interfered in the 2016 election. So did the UK. So did Spain. So did Finland. So did all the countries in Africa. So did all the countries in South America. So did Australia. So did North Korea. So did China. So did Japan. Yeah, everyone interferes to some extent. Okay. The question I probably was interpreting what you were suggesting was it legitimate to investigate Trump's team for this? And the answer is no, not in the way that it happened. But okay, I don't believe that I ever made the claim of that, like the way you're phrasing this, it doesn't even make sense how it would be said. That you're like, I'm saying that Russia interfered in the 2016 election, and that's what the FBI found. And I said, nope, the FBI didn't find that Russia interfered. I don't believe I would have said that. So I think that you're misremembering something, or if I did say it that way, that I was assuming that you were referring to something like the hacking of the Hillary Clinton emails and the Podesta and the DNC emails.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we both got short. I guess it's late in the day for both of us, but
what's the general point you want to make? Like, what's the general point? Your point is. Papadopoulos, despite the fact that Mueller's team found zero evidence whatsoever that Papadopoulos told anyone in the Trump's team about his conversation with Miss Sid, that they may have emails, that you just assume that's the case. That's the argument you were making last time, right?
Well, my argument was that Papadopoulos would have told Trump. And
do you have any evidence that Papadopoulos ever spoke to Donald Trump?
No.
Okay, is it commonplace where people saying like Papadopoulos was always in meetings talking? Is there any shred of evidence ever from anyone on Trump's team or Trump himself ever having a conversation publicly or privately with George Papadopoulos?
No.
My assumption would be...
Wait, say it again. Ask that question again.
Was there any evidence whatsoever that anyone was talking about publicly or privately Donald Trump having personal conversations with George Papadopoulos?
I think... Trump acknowledged that he had private conversations with Papadopoulos.
I'd love to see the evidence.
I think when he was like saying that he's a low-level person in team or something. I
think he said something like he always says, like he's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
He is. Something
right. So he just said some bullshit stuff that he says about everyone, even people that he hasn't had private conversations with.
I think he probably said seated at one of his table where he was having a meeting or something like that. But
okay, so my question is, like, you're making a claim that's like logically it would make sense that Papadopoulos took this evidence to Donald Trump. I think that logically it makes more sense that low-level staffers, whether they be Hillary's team, Trump's team, or any other campaign for president, probably very rarely are talking at the candidate at the top. I don't think it's something that happens much. Now, if it was Jeff Sessions that got this information or Paul Manafort that got this information, I would say it's probably likely that they talk to Trump all the time. But it's not. It's unpaid volunteer Carter Page.
So, see, this is my problem with you. or a problem with this line of defense. On Raging Tomato, you already acknowledged that to the degree that he took the information and he shared it with the election team, right?
I don't know that. I don't remember the conversation. Again,
Okay.
I'll repeat. To me,
So,
you are
okay.
nothing. You are nothing, right? You're just some fucking random person that calls in. No one will remember you because you are just a worthless sack of shit. So I don't remember the exact specifics of the conversation we had. Intuitively, I would guess that we probably had a conversation that went something like this. Mueller's team found no evidence whatsoever that he told anyone in his team or in the Trump team about this. And then you probably said like, yeah, but there was evidence that he talked to people in Trump's team when it came to setting up meetings with Russians or things like that. Like maybe you would have said someone like Sam Clovis or something to that degree. And I probably said, look, it's probably likely that at some point he said something to someone on Trump's team that he had this conversation with this dude. I'm guessing it was sort of like that, maybe.
So, well, you know what? We don't even need to speculate. The beautiful thing about these videos in the StreamYard, it records everything at
Cool, bring it up.
accuracy. So, no, we don't have to do it today.
No, bring it up. Bring it up. You're making the claim. Bring it up. No, it sounds good. You're right. It's very easy to do. Bring it up.
No.
I'm not bringing you back on again, you sack of shit. Now you got time. I'll stay on for an hour if you need. Find the fucking clip. Let's go. Find the clip.
How can I find the clip? This is your
What
channel.
are you talking about? You have access to the internet. Doesn't Sarah keep her videos up online?
Oh, yeah, she does.
Then find the clip.
So, like I told you, I don't have the time today.
You don't have the time today, then you will never have the time. I don't have the time either, but I'm going to stay because you're making the accusation. So go for it.
So
find the clip. I'm not going to sit through and watch fucking 2 hours of a debate, right, to find the 10-second clip that you want that's meaningless anyways.
And that's why I said I'll get it to you. But
I don't give a fuck. This is your last opportunity to be on the channel. This is your last opportunity to be on the.
You're scared.
What am I scared of?
Because you won't allow me the time to get the clip. You're scared.
No. Let me explain what's going on. So you had this claim. You had this claim. You've been sitting here in the chat for how long? 2 hours?
I've been listening to you.
Okay, but you didn't look up this clip.
Because, yeah.
Why? When it's foundational to your criticism against me.
Because I didn't know I was going to come up.
Okay, you didn't know you were going to come up, but you knew that you were going to make these claims.
It doesn't matter because we can get the clip.
What are you claiming that it said that I said?
We could get the clip so
What are you claiming that it said that I said? What are you claiming that I said?
We can get the clip.
What are you claiming that I said?
I already said it.
Say it.
I've already said it.
Say it.
Thanks, Rob.
Say what? Why don't you? There you go. I didn't boot him. He ran. Fuck him. He's not coming back. So I don't understand what he's trying to say. He's saying that I specifically said. Maybe I did. Maybe I said. I said this is how I think it went. He said let's just get the clip. I'm like, tell me what you think I said. He won't tell me. Okay, fuck off. Again, I did not boot him. He left himself. He can go fuck himself. So, what do you got, I guess, Dave? What's happening?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, real quick. What's up?
Oh, no, I just wanted want to know your opinion on railroads.
All right, man. We'll see ya.
All right.
We got a caller on the line. I think I'll bring them on. I'm not going to wait for donations. This could be interesting. Hello, Builtifa, definitely not. Can't see the rest of your name. What's up, Builtifa?
Hey, what are you up to?
Not much. How are you this fine day, Builtifa?
Pretty good. The last caller had a good point. All Republicans should call out other Republicans, but Democrats should not call out bad behavior of people like me in Portland and everything, where we do a bunch of things to help people and everything. People should be left in tents like this. They're taken care of. Nothing wrong with living in a tent outside. Nothing wrong with supporting one race above another race, like we did 4 years ago. Nothing wrong with that at all. And other things like this. But Republicans, call out Republicans. But the Democrats that own the city, they should never call us out for our behavior out there at all.
Builtifa, let me ask you this. How's the community gardening coming? I saw there in Portland, you guys doing a really good job of just throwing dirt on the sidewalk and gardening. How's that going for you?
We're doing very good. We grow about a little bit of some of the grass and everything. We need a lot of grass to have and everything, and some of that's out there, and a few tomatoes grow every once in a while, but for the most part, we're having a little bit of trouble growing it in corn and other necessary things that people need to live on, But
Yeah, it's tough, man. Being a farmer is tough, as you know, as I'm sure the people in Portland know. But hey, that's what it's all about, right? Like seizing the means of production, and everybody living communally, right?
Exactly. Everybody needs to kind of donate and put in their own. We don't. We probably don't take any money from George Soros or anything like that.
Right.
We ask everybody else to pitch in and help us with our needs. Not our needs like our garbage shields or anything like that. No, we can take care of that on our own. But.
Yes, right. You're when it comes to improvised weaponry, I will admit you guys are doing pretty decent out there. Let me ask you a question. What are your feelings on, I thought you guys were doing a real good job there for a while with your anti-ICE riots. I mean, demonstrations. What's up with that? It seems like it's out of the news.
Demonstrations. We don't do crazy things or anything like that. This report recently you hear about us attacking journalists, totally untrue or anything like that. You might hear that on like Katie Davis Court and places like that where we attacked a journalist. She was sort of doing something called taking pictures and doing interviews and everything. And when we just bumped into her, nothing bad or anything like that. So nothing crazy like that. So it's false reporting of sort of us being bad. It was them being bad by asking questions of us sort of and everything. That's a terrible thing to do. Asking questions of people that don't want to be asked questions should be stopped entirely and everything in the city of Portland.
Yeah, I totally get it. Last question and I'll get you out of here, but I think this is the one that everybody wants to know from you. What can we do as individuals to fight back against this fascist Donald Trump?
Do insurrections. We don't do insurrections. Republicans do insurrections. So what you need to do is do an insurrection against Trump whenever you can. Go to the White House, and make sure you don't get called out on attacking the White House. Things like January 6th need to be called out, but not what happened a few weeks earlier to that when certain things happened to the guard post outside of the White House there. That was not an insurrection.
I remember that. Yeah.
That was not necessarily. That was just kind of a party that some people were having outside the White House.
Of course. Well, hey, thank you so much, Builtifa. You stay safe out there in Portland. I know it's one of the safest communities possible, particularly for white men. So I'm sure you'll be fine. And hopefully we'll talk to you soon, Builtifa.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Take it easy. Wow, the great Builtifa calling in. I've seen Builtifa, but I never had a chance to talk to him. So real nice there. In a totally unrelated matter, you should go over to my friend Only a Mr. Bill's channel and check it out. All right, I remind everyone that it's $100 to kick a caller. We do have a caller here, one of my favorites. Mr. Duck, how you doing this fine day?
Hey, I'm good. Rob, how are you?
Doing good.
Cool.
So what's on your mind?
I'm just curious if you have sort of a zoomed out view of the Trump presidency. Given the last couple of weeks, there's these ambiguous trade deals. The firing of the labor chief. It seems like Trump's been sort of involving himself around, Ghislaine Maxwell, the nuclear deployment. It kind of seems like Donald Trump is, after his policies have largely failed and received backlash, is sort of just circling around typical presidential politics. Curious to hear your thoughts.
So I completely disagree with the trade deals. I think that they've been almost universally said to be good deals. Only a handful of people have put question to those. The other stuff, like there are certain people that are going to like some of that stuff and certain that will dislike. For example, the deployment of nuclear submarines, etc. I personally don't care for that. I would like to see a more peaceful resolution. However, it's always possible.
What is Rob? What does that mean to not care for nuclear subs?
What do you mean not care? Did I say that? I said some people will support it.
Yeah, you said
I don't
you said
care
it like a preference, Rob. You said it like a preference.
I don't.
That's
it's not
odd.
that I don't care for nuclear subs. It's that I don't care for the deployment of them as sort of a posturing against Russia. I'm not saying that literally I'm against the existence of nuclear submarines.
So you're getting it. So you're talking about posturing.
Correct.
So you don't agree we should posture nuclear weapons against Russia outside of typical mutually assured destruction or deterrence theory.
It's
sort of
not
in light
just
of
a matter of it's not just that
proliferation.
the idea behind it is just any aggressive militaristic posturing, I think, is something that I would rather not see. Now, there's always a chance that it's important for negotiation because Russia is just being entirely unreasonable. I tend to think, though, that maybe they would respond more favorably to a sort of carrot approach than a stick approach, but I guess we'll have to see what the outcome of this is. I think that sending the weapons that are directly targeting inside the nation of Russia itself is probably more upsetting to Russia than just saber rattling, like with these submarines. But neither here nor there. The other thing you said about the Ghislaine Maxwell, I don't know. We'll have to see what comes of it. If this is an effort for Donald Trump to cover up for crimes he committed, and so he's doing something with Ghislaine, okay, maybe. Or if it's an actual effort to find out who possibly was trafficked to, and so they're communicating with her, trying to get more evidence that wasn't done during the Biden administration, then I guess that would be a positive thing. But it's
Rob, is it pronounced Ghislaine or Ghislaine or
I've always said Ghislaine.
Are you supposed to say
I
that?
said Ghislaine, but I'm probably wrong. So I don't know, if I'm honest. It's one of those things where because I don't watch a lot of corporate news, I read more than I watch. So sometimes when it comes to pronunciations, I'm really shitty. And even aside from that, I'm bad at pronouncing everything. So like, for example, Trans de Argawa or whatever, I can't pronounce that. So, yeah. But anyways, yeah, you disagree with that, with the Ghislaine stuff? You don't think that could be a positive outcome?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't, it seems odd, with the severity of the charges, also with the high publicity of the case. It seems like there should have been more transparency around who was involved and what the, if it was the feds that were trying to get at her, get some information out of her. I felt there could have been either more transparency in the beginning, but it didn't seem like that was, who knows, for the whatever political reasons exist, that wasn't the case.
Yeah, I mean, this is what people need to remember. This does not shirk my anger at Donald Trump for what he said about Epstein. But you have to remember, like, the crimes were first found out during the Bush administration, and then the arrest, which was the sweetheart deal, was during the Obama administration. Then Epstein was arrested during Trump. Then we had 4 years of the Biden administration that didn't do anything to proceed on it. And now we see at least action being took on Epstein. Now, it may be that action is literally to cover up for Trump. I don't know yet. That could be what the action is. If so, this is really bad. But if it's honestly a good faith effort to try to get information that she has so that you could arrest other co-conspirators or people that were trafficked to, then that would be a positive thing. So I don't know. Trump's words on this have been really shitty. The rhetoric that he's used attacking his own base, etc. The actions that he's taken, short of not releasing the, quote, client list, which is ambiguous and I've talked about before, so far recently have been better than the Biden administration, but still insufficient as far as I'm concerned. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
I only have 3 minutes left, Doug.
That was pretty Yeah, my phone's at 5% too, so that was pretty crazy. The AI Obama video, and just I think like an adult human being, like once you reach the age of 18, you start getting that prefrontal cortex. It's like, well, in 2025, what new information actually surfaced that, and even in the first place, what sort of audit or process it invoked looking into the Obama administration. I don't think anyone's above the law, and it seems absurd that the Trump administration, someone who's been vindictive, who's a felon, who has civil litigation against him for horrendous crimes, it just brings something out of the blue, however many years after a prosecution.
I mean,
or after presidency.
I mean, you're literally saying that he's been convicted, right? And what was his conviction over?
So you're saying Donald Trump is trustworthy to?
No, what I'm saying is the very
president.
Well, he's not. He has an attorney general that would do that. But what I'm saying is literally.
What did I say?
Do you think Donald Trump's going to be the guy in court, like showing the evidence, or do you think it's going to be attorneys that work for the Department of Justice?
You're gonna be holding a double standard for.
No, I'm not. I'm holding the same standard that you hold. You just said that one of the things that makes Trump. Well, you let me finish.
What did I say, Rob?
if you let me finish, you
Well,
said
if you could say something in good faith, what's up?
if I could say something. Okay, you tell me what I'm going to say. It's going to be bad faith. Go ahead.
Well, maybe you can try listening to what I said. I said that
I did, and I was responding, and you interrupted.
Adult humans should be curious about why it is the case that Donald Trump is prosecuting.
Should adult humans have been curious as to why they were prosecuting Donald Trump for a campaign finance violation that occurred like 5 years ago and was beyond the statute of limitation? Were you curious about that as an adult with the prefrontal cortex?
Oh, they also could have seen that Donald Trump is someone who was sued for sexual assault.
So I see you changed the subject about the crimes that he was convicted
of. His family misran
a charity. You changed the subject.
That's the same subject. That's the same subject.
It's not the same subject. You talked about him being
criminally
convicted.
No, it is the same subject.
It is not the same subject. Why did they go? So just to be clear, so if we find out that Obama did something else, right? He did something else bad, a cocaine charge or something, he beat his wife in 2016, then you'll say, now it's fair for Trump to look into Russia crimes, the Russiagate crimes. You would say, that's because Obama did other bad shit and he was found guilty of. So now it's okay to go back to 2016 and look and see if he did this Russia shit. That's what you're saying? No, of course that's not what you're saying.
It would make sense if there was a history of misconduct, for sure.
So the truth is that you were more than happy, as were the Democrats, to go back 5 years for a simple campaign finance violation, that Hillary Clinton did the exact same thing, have a creative, novel legal theory that extended the statute of limitations so that low intelligence people like you could come on streams like this and say, Trump's a convicted felon, so that you could say that. And then when the shoe's on the other foot and it's like, okay, turnabout's fair play, we'll go back in time and look at potential crimes you had. You're like, that's absurd. Why should we accept going way back to investigate crimes? It's 401. I got to get going. You got like 10 seconds.
Yeah. I don't think it matters, but I don't know why the president would be the one announcing this with an AI video instead of evidence or some sort of narrative, something people could latch onto rationally.
All right, see you, Rob. We'll see you. Yep.